In 1492, Christopher Columbus, sailing for the Spanish crown, believed he found India and referred to the native inhabitants as Indians. Since this encounter, indigenous peoples have had to withstand centuries of attempted genocide. Canada's residential school system tried and failed to erase indigenous cultures, languages, traditions, and identities. Over 150,000 First Nations, Métis, and Inuit children passed through these schools. Survivors were separated from their families and prevented from practicing their tradition, leading to intergenerational trauma. In 2015, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission released 94 calls to action, concrete steps towards reconciliation. This documentary is built around 3 of them. Calls to Action 10 on culturally appropriate education, Call to Action 61 on churches funding healing projects, and Call to Action 83, which calls on the Canada Council for the Arts to fund reconciliation work. Through arts, Indigenous cultures survived. Through music, storytelling, and ceremony, communities continue to heal, remember, and reclaim what was nearly taken away.
Residential schools interrupted the transmission of cultural knowledge from one generation to the next. Today, Indigenous artists use visual art to reconnect communities with their history, identity, and teachings. Through painting, beadwork, and murals, stories that were once silenced become visible again. Many works celebrate connections to family, language, and the land. Visual art helps preserve memory and strengthens cultural identity for future generations.
Drumming holds deep significance in many Indigenous communities. It's often described as the heartbeat of Mother Earth because it brings people together through ceremonies, culture, and shared experiences. During the residential school era, many Indigenous cultural and spiritual practices were disrupted. Today, community-led programs are helping rebuild these traditions. This reflects the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's Call to Action 61, which supports Indigenous-led healing initiatives. One example is the Kotitla, or We Light the Fire project. It uses music and creative arts to help Indigenous youth reconnect with their culture, build resilience, and strengthen their sense of belonging. Research shows that drumming can reduce stress, support emotional and spiritual healing, and create a stronger sense of belonging. Songs performed in Indigenous language also help preserve traditions, pass cultural knowledge to future generations, and strengthen community bonds. Overall, music and drumming provide a powerful path towards healing, resilience, cultural pride, and community connection.
Long before written records, indigenous knowledge passed down from generation to generation through stories, songs, and dance. Residential schools interrupted that transfer by separating children from their families and communities and by punishing children for speaking their own languages. Today, storytelling and dance help restore those connections. Elders sharing oral histories with youth is itself an act of reclamation. Passing down knowledge, this system tried to interrupt. Language renewal programs, powwow regalia making, and community gatherings allow communities to share history, pass on teachings, and preserve language, celebrate identity. Each story and each dance becomes an act of cultural survival.
After enduring so much oppression from different empires throughout time, the indigenous people still to this day fight to prosper and keep the heritage alive. The damage that has been done by the residential schools continues to affect indigenous communities across Canada. However, indigenous art demonstrates strength, resilience, and survival. Through visual art, music, drumming, storytelling, and dance, communities are reclaiming culture, restoring balance, and building paths towards healing. To fulfill The Truth and Reconciliation Commission's calls for action. Keeping culture alive is more than preserving the past. It is creating a stronger future.